your name, your job title, and 3 words to describe rugby.
Okay, my name is Nikki Clark-Rogers. I'm the head of girls and ladies sport at Old Northamptonians Rugby Football Club. 3 words to describe rugby: belonging, resilience, and I think opportunity.
We're going to have to battle this Nikki because it just doesn't go flying and win too much. It's not quite as sturdy as the other one. So, why was your job role introduced?
So my role was introduced because of the growth, I think, in the girls and women's game. But I think also because we need to start thinking bigger. So it's not just about rugby anymore. It's about creating an environment where girls can access sport, and stay in sport. So I think it's more about removing the barriers to sport so that they can continue. I think for me, the role allows us now here at ONs to build that out properly. So it's a bit of a legacy there. So it's not just for now, but it's looking ahead towards the future, so we can just make sure we keep building and building on the foundations.
So, what's so special about the family atmosphere here in Northampton?
So I think for Northampton, it's a genuine community, and what makes it powerful is that it doesn't just support one team or one sport. I think it supports the people. It's families come in here for rugby, but they stay because they feel part of something bigger. And it's like I said, well, this is what gives us a platform to grow into a multi-sport environment.
Amazing. And then, obviously, how important is women's rugby beyond the tournament?
It's the foundation. Can't say fairer than that. So rugby builds confidence, resilience and identity. And I think once the girls have that, they're far more likely to stay in sport. They're far more likely to stay active. And that's whether that could be rugby, cricket, football, or anything else. So I think that rugby isn't just a sport here anymore. However, I will say it's probably often the starting point.
Amazing. And then, obviously, we had the World Cup. How important was that 2025 World Cup?
To me, it just changed the visibility overnight. Girls could see what was possible, women could see what was possible, and that's what sparked the interest. But it's really what matters now is what we do with that interest.
And then, kind of following that up, like, how important was and impactful was the 2025 World Cup locally?
I think locally we've felt it directly. We've had more girls turning up, more interest from parents, more demand than ever before. But I also think that with that comes responsibility. So clubs have to now be ready to support that growth. So there have to be with the right coaching, there has to be the right culture, and I think also there have to be the right structures. Now, that's exactly, I think, why roles like mine has been created and introduced, just to make sure, locally that we can support that.
I think that's really important. And, like, does rugby go beyond just getting girls onto the pitch?
Completely. I think for myself, it's about the confidence, it's about identity, leadership, and those things don't just belong in one sport. If we get it right, girls just don't become rugby players; they become lifelong participants in all sports.
Definitely. And I think that's a massive part of it is getting girls involved in all kinds of sports. And obviously, your daughters, they all play rugby. I know they're kind of getting involved into other sports as well now. So, what's it been like watching their confidence grow?
So I think the growth in my girls in itself, you just don't see it on the pitch. For myself, it's one of the most powerful parts of all of it. Their confidence has become, you know, alive. You can see it in their school, you can see it in their friendships, you can see how they carry themselves day to day. They speak up more, they back their mates, they're not afraid to step into situations that probably before they started playing rugby they would never have even have sort of like they found daunting before. So rugby has been a huge part of what's given them that leadership, that empowerment, you know, and all the confidence. And it's and also a big thing is I think it's given them a belief in themselves as well. And as I said, that's followed them into everything they do now.
And that's definitely something like for any child who's played sport, it's
Mm.
always something you can carry forward into something different. Um, is there anything else that you would like to add?
So anything, I think the goal now is just like bigger one sport. It's like to here we're building a model where girls can come into Old Northamptonians, have access to rugby, cricket, and football, and that's going to be all in one place. So I think for myself, having it all in one place, they can then build on the same values, and this is all designed around keeping girls in sport long term. If we don't just focus on one season, we risk losing them. So it's like for rugby, it's just a winter season. What are they going to do next? So for me, if we build a full pathway, we keep them. So we keep them throughout the season. So rugby will go into cricket, cricket will probably go into football, and football one day and rugby a next day. So
That's absolutely fine if it's everything.
Yeah, I think that's,
I think
I think
that's
that's
it all.
it.